Well, hey guys, Thorzak's here. All right, now here's a subject. It's springtime again. Okay, I wanted to kind of avoid this subject because it's controversial anywhere that you bring it up. Any gun shop, any gun range that you start talking about the Smith & Wesson Mainspring and that little screw, people get all sneaky about that. And one thing I want to show you. First of all, go look at installing, a trigger, doing a trigger job with Jerry Michalik. Jerry Michalik is and has a truckload of awards, placards, medals, recognition, international, national titles, world records. Okay? He knows a thing or two about Smith & Wesson pistols. Also, Jerry Michalik was Jim Clark's son-in-law. Now, Jim Clark, long before Jerry Michalik became anybody, Jim Clark was an established pistol smith. He started his business. It really took off in the 1960s, and he customized Smith & Wesson pistols for all the top shooters. Okay, built his business off of doing that. And also, you have Bill Davis. Okay, Bill Davis was another pistol smith, and he customized, Smith & Wesson pistols. Okay, now what I want to show you here is that mainspring. Now this Smith & Wesson 29, 629, I sent it off to Clark, okay, to have some modifications done to it. I wanted to get the compensator cut off. I didn't like that. I was going to shoot cast bullets and I didn't want to have to scrape lead out of it. Anyway, now, if you guys take a look, that little screw right there, okay, has had a modification done to it. What they did is they took it out and they ground it down so they could adjust, okay? So they could tune this trigger to break at a certain amount of pounds, okay? Clark did this, all right? I also have a Bill Davis pistol. It has the exact same thing done to it, exact same thing. These two guys were the top pistol smiths in the United States, in the free world. So, this paranoia that people have about adjusting that screw or having that modification done is completely unfounded. Okay? In my opinion. Now, if you have an argument, then maybe you need to take it up with Clark, or you need to make a sign and go over to Bill Davis's grave and stick it in Bill Davis's grave saying this man did not know what he was talking about. Okay, and then go sit in your car and look at that sign and say, I did my part for society. Okay? That's all I'm saying. The facts, okay? That is the facts. Period. Pistols that are used all around the world in competitions. Pistols that are used by law enforcement. I mean, I think that people make a mountain out of a molehill on that. Now, just to back it up, I'm going to tell you another thing. If you're uncomfortable with doing that to your pistol, by all means, don't do it. Smith & Wesson is an export company. They export pistols all around the world for all kinds of different contracts that they have. Unlike some other companies that I know of that don't get government contracts or worldwide contracts, Smith & Wesson is regarded one of the best revolvers in the world. Okay? And so they're sold all over. Now, Smith & Wesson also has to take into account that the ammunition that's fired in their guns isn't made in the United States. And it may be more difficult to ignite. Okay? Because of the primers they use over in Hungary, or over in Iran, or over in some South American country or something. We don't know, okay? And neither does Smith. So Smith makes those leaf springs extra powerful so that that hammer has enough force to set off primers. It just makes sense. Now, does that make sense to you? It makes sense to me. One of the things you have to take in consideration, I consider these probably, as far as, widely used, okay, CCI primers are the hardest, okay, they're the thickest cup, and they can be difficult to ignite. So if I was going to do that modification to one of my pistols, I would definitely take that pistol out to the range, and I would fire it and fire it and fire it, and I would adjust that screw and adjust that screw and adjust that screw so I get 100% reliable. And then I would go a little more tension on that spring, and I would just keep firing it. Okay. I'll tell you what. As old as this pistol is, okay, this Bill Davis gun. All right. I'm going to tell you something. I've never had any misfires in this gun since I've owned it. And that modification was done eons ago. So, anyway, that's my talk today, all right? And those are the facts, okay? They're not, your argument isn't with me, okay? Or your opinion isn't with me to take up with me. It is actually to take up with Jim Clark, Jerry Michalik, and Bill Davis, and probably hundreds of other pistol smiths out there that customize Smith & Wesson guns, because they do the exact same thing. So, with that, I wanted to put that out. It's a controversial thing. When you bring up that mainspring and you bring up that little screw, you're bound to get someone out there that are going, oh, no, 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 you can't do that, because, boy, I'll tell you what, it changes this and it changes the geometry, and then dogs and cats are sleeping together and blah, 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 and they just, nothing could be further from the truth. Nothing could be further from the truth. That's all wise tales. That is all just FUD lore being discussed around an open, campfire at a hunting camp. Believe me, it's FUD lore. FUD lore. If you adjust that too light, yeah, you're going to get light primer strikes, and you probably won't get good ignition. But if you do your job and you go ahead and you adjust that, it's 100% reliable, and you've improved your trigger. Just, I'm putting it out there. If you're not comfortable with that, don't do it. That's all I have to say. So that's it. That's about all I got. So until next time, it's Thorzax.